It's a bit chilly today, so I'm wrapped up well. The wind chill factor is definitely there, but it's nice blue sky though, so I'll make the best of it. I've got a couple of pocket warmers on my toes and my big gloves on, but they're not particularly warm, sadly. I'm definitely in the market for some heated gloves because I enjoy riding the bike in any season, not just when it's warm. That said, I find the summertime in Japan to be too hot. I'd rather wrap up warm and fight the cold than get into my bike gear in the summer and struggling with the heat. I'm on my way to Nirinkan, a bike shop in Kadoma, to get a new back tyre today. Anyway, so since I released my first video over a year ago about getting my big bike licence, I've been asked some recurring questions and thought I'd reply today. What school did I go to? Do you need Japanese to pass the test? What do you need to own a big bike in Japan? And why did you buy a Honda instead of a Harley? Why did I buy a Honda Shadow Phantom instead of a Harley? Well, this is my first bike and I wasn't sure I wasn't going to go out and prang it as a new rider. I wanted something big and cool, which needed little attention and had good reliability. While I think Harleys are beautiful bikes, they've definitely got huge street cred and they just look fantastic, I definitely didn't want one as my first bike. It would be a disaster to go out and prang a brand new Harley instead of a Honda Shadow Phantom, which I don't want to prang these days anyway, I love it. The Phantom is bulletproof. I just need to keep it clean, change the oil and check the tyre pressures. It's more than enough for Japanese roads. It has a comfortable riding position and starts every time. It lacks a bit of power in the top end on the highway, but more because of Honda and all their wisdom never added a sixth gear. I'd never say no to a Harley or an Indian for that matter, but as an inexperienced rider I wanted to take a cheaper option just in case. Passing your test and learning to ride are two different things. Where did I get my licence? So I went to a school in Hyogo Prefecture. In Osaka, you have to do two tests, the Chugata, which is up to 400cc, and then later do the Ogata. In Hyogo, you can go straight for the big bike test, so that was the better option for me. Alright, the next one, do you need to speak Japanese? Well, it helps. It definitely helps, but I wouldn't say it was essential. There are aspects of the test where you need to understand the nuances. You can't just rock up and attack the test. You need to know the circuit you're going round, all the little things that they expect you to do, like check the mirrors, get on the bike correctly. You're being tested from pretty much the moment you walk into the room.
Your final test.
At the driving school, you can get away with basic Japanese. It's practical stuff, you know, and though few of the instructors can speak English, they'll demonstrate what they want you to do and what they want you to achieve. You'll know you're doing it right when, you know, they're nodding and smiling at you. I did my fair share of nodding and smiling when I wasn't sure of something that was being said, but you get the right idea when, as I say, the instructors respond positively.
Nicely done!
Basically, if you can't speak any Japanese, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Also, if you don't have a car license, you're going to have to do the written test too, which is also in Japanese. I'm pretty sure there's not an English option. At least it wasn't when I did it, and that was only a year ago. So being able to understand what the instructors are telling you will definitely help you. I've heard from many people that you're not allowed to take a translator into the school with you. So the onus is definitely on you to learn enough Japanese to get through the test by yourself. So beyond getting your license and buying a bike, there's really not much to it in Japan. If you live in an apartment, you'll need to find a place to keep it, which is preferably sheltered and has security. If you're in a house, then you hopefully have a garage, which is the best. It's a situation we're in right now. We've got our car and two bikes in the garage and a spare room for all our gear. But there isn't that much space in Japan. Most people will be in apartments and their bike will be parked in like a space that they'll pay for, but preferably that'll be covered. Now, owning a big bike or a small bike in Japan isn't particularly stressful. If the bike is up to 250cc, then there is no need for the shaken, which is basically the Japanese test of roadworthiness.
I'm not worthy.
You have to do them every 2 years. 400cc bikes and above need the shaken test every 2 years. It's not that expensive. Nikki's bike went through the shaken last year and it was just about go man yen. My bike goes through the shaken this year.
It'll be okay.
They are fairly strict about exhaust noise here, especially for the bigger bikes. I've seen many 250s with like modified exhausts on them and pumping out a huge amount of noise. But the big bikes, well, my big bike is pretty quiet. Even though it's quiet, it's at the upper limit of what's okay. I said there are much louder bikes out on the road. I'm not quite sure how they're achieving that situation. Anyway, I hope you found that informative. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do these info videos now and again, so please like and subscribe and drop a message in the comments if you have any questions.